issues. Let me see if I can just move. How does this want to come down a little bit? So that it's not quite as in the light. Maybe that would work a little bit better for you guys, because it's a little bit bright sometimes, isn't it? On me, which nobody needs that. So we've had a little bit of a delay getting started as usual, and it won't have linked up to the scheduled post on our Facebook page because I don't really know why. For some reason, it keeps losing the scheduled post that I've put up there. So let me just turn my noise down. So I'm sorry about that. That's just created a little bit of a delay there for us. I had to crash out of the whole system, and it was a whole thing. But we are here now. One of these days we won't have any issues, and I will be here on time, won't I? So tonight's live, I've got a couple of ideas, things that I would quite like to do. A couple of different things that I'm thinking of doing. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you, and hello everyone, I'm so pleased you can join me and that you've found me. One of the things that I wanted to share with you is that I do have now the latest Ranger Distress ink in store, the saltwater taffy, which is super exciting. And I've also managed to get hold of some villainous potion, not poison as I was calling it. It is villainous potion. So I've managed to get hold of some of those. So I've not updated the shop yet with those listings, but I will be updating them in the morning. So if you've been after those, along with some of the other time for tea goodies, you can now get those in the shop. So that's cool. You'll have to excuse my I guess my casual attire this evening. I have I'm basically straight out of the shower, more or less, haven't had chance to make myself beautiful. But hopefully that won't matter, because we're going to be making some beautiful cards instead. So hello to Josh, hi Julie, hi to Annalisa, Jessica's here as well, with her mom. Welcome to you both. And Laura and Emma are here on Facebook. We've got Annalisa on YouTube. I'm loving that you guys can watch me on both channels at the same time, which is really cool. So you can see then that I've got both of these out, and I really want to use the saltwater taffy today. I've not even opened these. These are so spanking new. So I'm going to pop my villainous potion. I might make something with villainous potion next week. But for today, I really am excited to use this saltwater taffy. So let's crack this open and let's have a see what it's like. I'm so excited. It looks quite a little bit like maybe the worn lipstick or the spun sugar, but I know it's absolutely not. So let me grab a little bit of just a bit of scrap here. And let's just have a play. So I'm going to use one of my large blender brushes here. Let's just get this colour down. Oh, I love that colour. I love that. So it's a really nice. Oh, I'm bending my I'm being a bit too heavy-handed there, but it's a really pretty colour of kind of a corally pink, which I love. It's probably one of my favourite kind of pink shades, and is very similar, actually, in all actual fact, to our brand pink. Ours is a little bit deeper on our packaging, but it is quite similar, which is also making me very happy. So I'm thinking about what colours that I might want to team this up with, and there's a couple of options, whether we go kind of down the full on pink route or we darken it up. And I had got a bit of an idea in my head that the aged mahogany would go really, really well, which I do think it will. And let's have a look at see what it would look like. You see, Tattered Rose is a great colour as well. I think these colours are going to look so nice together. So I probably should have started that the other way around. Let's try this way. Let's try it this way, and I'm going to add a little bit more. And I've not used my I've got so excited that I've just gone straight onto my craft mat here, and I've not actually added my my stenciling mat underneath, but I think we'll be fine. So I'm going to use one of my light pink brushes now, and I'm going to add some of the Tattered Rose. I'm hoping my Tattered Rose isn't too dry, but I think this is a lovely shade, and I think we're going to make a really nice card using this. I can see this working for what I want to do today. So we've got that lovely Tattered Rose there, which goes really well with the new saltwater taffy. I think that looks really lovely. And then I want to add some of the aged mahogany. So I think I might use it is a pinky brown, the aged mahogany, but I'm going to use the chocolate brown brush here, and I'll add it to this side. So let's add this to this end so that you can see how these colours are going to blend so beautifully together. Oh, I'm loving this combination. I knew when I first saw this, if Amy from Crafty Purple Frog happens to be watching, which I don't know if she will be, I know she's a busy lady, but when we were chatting about it, this was the first combination that I mentioned that I wanted to try, and I think it's so pretty. So I'll just hold this up so that you can see a little bit of how that works together. It's a beautiful look, really nice. Looks really lovely, even more so in real life. So I do love that. Obviously we've got some spun sugar, which is a pinkier pink, which might go with it. And I know Julie said that she was thinking of pairing with Speckled Egg, which I think will work really well as well if you're wanting to go for you know, a contrasting colour rather than shades of kind of pink. So I think that would be a really good combination as well, Julie. So, and I was tempted to do that, and I might actually do that in our background today, or I might stick with the pinks. I'm quite feeling the pinks, if I'm honest, today, and I don't know, but I'm having a pink moment. So let's move that to one side, because I am thinking that I'm just going to clean this up, and then I'm going to have a go at making a background, and I just want to have a little think about what background do I want to use, because I forgot to pick up any of my A6 size card blanks. So I'm working with either A2 size card blanks or making my own card blanks, maybe a DL or a mini slimline might be very cute. Excuse me while I have a little slurp of my drink there. So I'm just going to grab I am just grabbing throwing things around. That was Ant's card that he made during our last class, and I was about to throw it around. So I think I mentioned to you guys before that I really wanted to use my love you lots sentiment, because I've not managed to use it yet. And like you say, Julie, I think the bit of the contrast of the speckled egg against that pink is going to look so pretty. So I have a feeling that I'm going to use that today. I did also have an idea for this, that maybe with the villainous potion, which would be great. Let me pop that back. So we're not using that today. I've got a couple of card situations there that we might be able to use. So the love you lots, I think we're going to try using that. And I did think about using the Jumping for Joy set today. So I've not used that for a bit. I do have lots of ideas for using these little cafe critter guys though. So I'm maybe tempted to use those. There's just so many choices in this, you know, in the last few releases, that I am absolutely spoilt for choice for cards to make. So yeah, it does make my decision making process a little bit tough. I also love the Enjoy Yourself set, and I've not used that for a while either. So there's so many options, but I think I'm going to go with, and this is when I sit down and start looking at things, I could be here all day. Where am I putting that? I'm not putting that behind me, am I? I'm putting that, in fact I'll put that to the side of me, because I've got a few bits here that I just need to organise. I've got piles and piles of stamps and dies that just need a little bit of organising, some magnetic sheets adding to them and all kinds. So the container is adorable, says Annalisa. You mean this one, this little basket? Oh, this one. Oh, this one is adorable. Yes. This is I don't even know where I got it from, but it is really cute. It's a little lunch box, and I don't know, I think it is a little bear, like you say. And I just think it's really handy just for keeping my stamp cleaner in, and my little chamois. Hello Natalie, how are you? So yeah, I was thinking these might look kind of cute. We could do a little bit of a situation with these guys. I've also got this stencil that I thought maybe I could do a little bit of stenciling in the background. Or we could use this cover plate die, again with the colour behind it. I think that would look really nice. I know you can't really tell for definite there, but I think that would look really cool. And then we've potentially got the sentiment over the top of that as well. That will fit quite nicely over the centre. So, and we could always cut the cover down so that it fits our A2 as well, because obviously that's what we've got. So I think I might go with that for today. I feel like that might be quite good. I've got to kind of work out in my head what images might I possibly use around the I love you lots. So shall we have a little gander at what that might look like? So this is a little bit of what I do to try and work it out in my mind, is kind of positioning things here, and then we can have all of our little critters kind of all around, which I think that would be really cool. And the little "oh what fun" sentiment is really cool, and we could have the jumping with joy as a sub sentiment, or the stay warm even. Lots of cute sentiments in this one. So that, I think that's my plan. So I'm not going to use my stripy stencil again. So let's pop them to one side for now, because there's just not enough hours in the day for all of the creations that I want to make in my head. this lovely beast. I think that I'm going to make I think I'm going to cut out my cardstock first with an A2 sized die. So we've got A2 size nesting dies that obviously make this process much easier. So let me find them. A2, there we go. So our A2 layering dies are super handy to have. I need to move that out of my way because I'm going to need to get access to my machine. And I believe I've got some cardstock. But yes, wait for it. Because I'm going to use that cardstock for my background. Let me grab some of this. So that can be cardstock for my background, but for my panel here, I want to use a slightly different colour. And I did have a think of using excuse my little cough there. Now then, is this the right shade I've got here? Or is that the shade that I want? Excuse me if I've just gone off piste there. What we got here? That's a lovely colour, isn't it? I don't know if that is our cardstock or just one that I found. Bit yellow maybe. Yeah, a bit too yellow. Maybe a paler pink. Maybe I'm gonna have to make my own. I wanted more of a vanilla kind of creamy colour. I don't know if I even possess such a colour in my stash. Let me have a look here. Because mostly what I have is either bright white or a pink colour, or so I don't really possess anything that's kind of got an off-white shade. Let's have a look at my little swatches here. So these are my swatches, and this is the colour that I was thinking, the vanilla milkshake. That does look nice, the vanilla milkshake. That seemed a darker colour yellow, the one that I picked out, didn't it? Let me try again. See what these are. Is that the same colour? Yeah, that's the same colour. Some of these are different colours. That's Snow White cardstock. That's quite nice, isn't it? That's not Time for Tea cardstock, but it is very pretty. Or we've got the milkshake. I think I might go with this. I know it's not Time for Tea, but it's just this might be just a little bit yellow for my images, because I've got to think about what I'm going to colour my images in. Let me pop that back in there. And maybe that's something we need to think about, is maybe getting something a little bit more creamy in our collection, so that I've got something like that to choose from. Oh dear. That didn't work out, did it? Let me pop that back there. Okay. So if this is going to be my background, it's quite a nice thick card base, card stock. So and I'm gonna say, am I gonna cover the whole piece, or am I gonna cover just part of it? Let's start with all of it, and we can always cut that down, can't we? So sorry, just catching up with some comments. Ali Dali says, oh my god, that bento box is adorable. Is that like the brand name of it? I don't know what I purchased. Julie says, Joe, is the next class date definitely the 25th of March? I was hoping to come again, but already booked on a course that day. So I think it's on the Saturday. So if the Saturday today's the 25th, then yes, but I had a feeling that it was the 26th because I think the 27th is Mother's Day, which is the Sunday. So if it's so it will be on the Saturday, basically, whatever day that is. And like I said, I feel like that's the 26th. So let me pop this through our Gemini. Laura, hello to you. Finally made it after a hectic day. What have you been doing that's been so hectic? Oh, an avalanche of plates there. So this is my die cut piece. I do like that colour actually. That was the colour that I was looking for. So that's worked out quite well. So now I'm going to I'm going to cover this piece here. I'm just going to line this up with the die cut here, and then we'll pop that through our die cutting machine as well. This is, like I said, quite thick cardstock, so we may have to put this through twice because of my bowed plates, but let's give it a go. Julie says that is the same day as her course, doing a Mother's Day floral course. Otherwise, you and Harry would definitely be coming along. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. It was the only day that we could do because of Aunt being working the other weekends in the month. So I'm just going to turn this around to change the pressure around, just to pop it through a second time before I move it and lose it. If you move it, you lose it. Right, so let's take this up and let's just have a look. That looks like that's possibly worked. I don't want to move it before I know, really. Let's do a little tap test. Let's do a little poke. Some of these look like they're still stuck. So this is, like I say, the condition of my Gemini plates is not helping. So all I'm going to do is just going to move the die around kind of at a different angle, just to give it another place of pressure. And if that doesn't work, we may have to put a little shim in. But hopefully this one has worked this time. Yeah, that looks like that one's worked. So let me just get rid of some of these little bits here. Pop that back there. So we're going to end up with a few bits and pieces here, aren't we? Let me get rid of that for now. And let's move some of this. I'm going to get myself in a bit of a tangle otherwise. What should I do with my paper? So some of my my washi tape has obviously got caught on the back there, but that's okay. And I am just going to do a bit of tapping here. I know it's not all going to come free because of that washi tape, but most of it has, so that's pretty good. Let's poke some of these bits out. They've got a bit stuck with the washi. So yeah, I'm excited to let you all know what the class is going to be. And I'm going to get that up ready to book tomorrow. It is just the one session this time, with only a few places because we've only got a small venue, but we'd love for you to join us. So I'm really sorry that it clashes with your class, Julie, but there will be others. Don't you worry. And I also need to let you guys know as well that we are going to be at a live craft show at Port Sunlight. It's the Stamping Together craft show. And that's, I can't remember the name of the venue. I will have a post about it going up on our social media in the next day or two. But that's on the 2nd of April. Port Sunlight is near Liverpool, I believe. So you'll be able to catch us there as well. I'll be doing some live demos. Ant will be with me. We'll be stressed as usual because we'll have been probably working all day and all night to get everything ready. And travelling from Sheffield is always a bit of a stress when you've got a van full of gear. So we'd love to see you because that's why that's why we enjoy doing the show so much, because they are a lot of work and they are quite stressful, and you never know what's going to happen there. What you're going to be greeted with really in terms of facilities and so on sometimes, and how easy it's going to be to get set up. But yeah, we love it because we get to meet all of you guys, so that's what makes it worthwhile. So that's going to go over the front of my card, which is pretty cool. Now, it's not got a border to it. We've just got these lines, these edges that have kind of been cut free. So it feels like there potentially should be a bit of a border to this. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do about that at this point. But I do know that this behind it is going to look incredible. So, do you hope to do another class in April, says Julie? Yes, we do, hopefully. If not April, then definitely in May. Laura says, kids, medical stuff, work, and just had to change your wheel as noticed your tyre had a bulge. Been a busy week, but today kind of just take the biscuit. Oh my goodness, what a day. That does sound fairly stressful. And Julie says, Shani says, oh, that's not far from me. So that Port Sunlight is not far from you. That's awesome. So what I'm thinking to do here, because I do feel that is a little bit untidy, and I'm not happy with the untidiness of this. So I've got a couple of options, and I think the one that I'm going to choose, I just need to find my die, is to use the nesting frame die, and this is the A2 size. So this comes in 2 sizes as well, and it's a one die, but it cuts out all of these frames. So if I grab my bit of cardstock that we had before, what I can do now is I can cut out a nice frame that will go around. I'm just sizing this up because I've got a little bend in it here for some reason, and I don't want that bit there, so we'll go with this bit here. I think that works better. So yeah, this will give me a nice little frame, just make it look a little bit neater. So again, we might have to put this through a couple of times, but that's okay. So let's line this back up again. Oh, Shani, I hope you might be able to come and see us then. Whereabouts are you, Shani? Whereabouts do you reside? You see the centre bit there is not hasn't cut, so we're going to pop that through again. I'm just going to snip the rest of this off because we don't need that bit, and that means then that I can position this in other places on my plates. Try and get it to go through. Seems to have fallen away from my die, and I only need the outer bit, so if the inner bits haven't fully cut, but they look like they have. Excellent. So let's put that to one side again. So this will just neaten up our edges, I think, and this is what's great about this frame die, is that you can make these really beautiful frames, and our shaker tape will fit around this edge, so we can use that to give some dimension. I've got a little bit of kind of shavings around here, and one of the things that you can do if you've got any like little shavings of cardstock is use a bit of your washi tape just to pull those free. It's just where the die cutting has kind of shaved off some of those, especially when it's thicker cardstock, it will perhaps leave some little shavings from the cutting process. So let's just use a little bit of that. So that's pretty good. So now we've got this little frame now that's going to go around the outside, and that's just going to make it look a little bit neater. So I'm happy with that now. That looks really cool, and I'm happy then that we use this whole card base as our background. So, and I'm going to keep my my other die cut pieces here in the back of my pocket, because then I'll use them on something else. Keep everything. You never know when you might use it. So shall we do, so our card blanks are great for ink blending on, so yeah, they are really good for that. Let me just, there we go, now I can see some comments. The star looking die plate looks really great, says Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. So this is called the Geometric Snowflakes cover die. This was in our winter release, and it's really cool because it does look like stars, it can look like flowers, it can look like snowflakes, just depending on what colour cardstock you use and how you colour it up. I think it can be a bit of a chameleon, which is pretty cool. So let's get this ink blended here, and I'm going to do very similar to what we've done here because I really like this combination. I think it's going to go well with my little squirrels as well. So I'm going to start with the lightest colour at the top, being my Tattered Rose, and I'm going to use my larger brush for this because we're covering quite a large surface here. So I'm going to do the Tattered Rose a third of the way, which is very cool. And then I'm just going to rub this up a little bit. So Shani says, I hope so. We'll just need to book it off work. I mean, is it Shavington or Shavington? It's about a 45-minute drive. That's not too bad at all then, is it, Shani? Oh, I hope you can come. It'd be lovely to see you. So, and then now we've got that beautiful saltwater taffy. This is going to be an absolute favourite. I can just see that this is going to be used so much. I mean, the other thing that to mention here is just how smoothly that's blending, and how smoothly new inks blend with our brushes as well. Just such a beautiful effect. I love that. Really, really pretty. Oh, love it. It's something, you know, that only crafters understand, isn't it? The delight in a new ink, and a new Distress Oxide ink. I mean, you know, the kind of the anticipation of the new ink arriving is just great in itself, isn't it? That somebody, that Tim Holtz has managed to create such a brand that people anticipate it so much in their thousands is pretty amazing stuff. But he has created something here that I think pretty much all crafters can get on board with, you know, no matter what your style of crafting is. You're going to want to use some ink, aren't you, of some sort, potentially. And these the Distress Oxides really have really nailed it for me in terms of me enjoying the ink blending process, along with the brushes that we have, because they really do help you get this beautiful transition of colour. So what I've done there is got ink all over my fingers, but also I've worked the colours over each other. So I started with the Tattered Rose, then I worked in the Saltwater Taffy, then I went back in with the Tattered Rose, but then I blended those without adding any more ink to my brush. So that just really created a nice transition. I did the same with the Saltwater Taffy to the Aged Mahogany. The final blend was without any additional ink on my brush, and that just really does help blend those together. So I think this makes for such a really nice combination, and one that you might not necessarily have thought of. It's quite warm, which I like. A nice warm combination. I need to see if I can get some new labels for these. I need to get these labelled up so that I know where they are. I can't find them. Okay, so I'll just keep that to one side because I might use that for my sentiment. Couldn't get the words out, but I might go for a bit of bling. I'm not sure. So Lauren says, oh, the Port Sunlight is half an hour closer to me and it's Easter holidays. May need to speak nicely to the hubby. Oh, excellent. Sharon says that Saltwater Taffy is her new favourite colour. Shani loves the new Distress Oxide colour too. And Julie says, forgot to say thank you for the recommendation of using the square label frame dies for your pockets for the portfolio. They are perfect and it's pretty much completed now. Well done, that's really good. I know that's been, you know, a big project for you, so I'm really pleased that you managed to get that done and that we were able to help a little bit as well. Very thirsty today. Okay, so I'm going to do, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some splattering. So the splattering that I'm going to do, let me think, what splattering shall we do? I think this is the Fizzy Flamingo. I don't know, is this going to be too pink? We can try it, can't we? Let's have a look. Because this is quite a nice shade of pink as well, a nice salmony pink, and it's got a little bit of well, it's got a lot of shimmer in it, a lot of mica in it, and this might just add a nice little bit of spritz to the background. So I'm just shaking it from side to side to get that colour mix in. I'm going to do what we did the other day, which was to not put it, not spray the whole background with it, but just dot bits of the ink. And I think that is going to be quite a nice match. I'm going to try using my fan brush for this and just see what kind of a effect the fan gets. It might not be enough ink there. Let's just pop a little bit more onto my surface there, just so that I've got a bit more to be able to work with. And oh yeah, that's better. I think that works really quite well. And it's going to have, when it dries, it's going to have some shine to it as well, a bit of shimmer. But it's also going to pop really nicely. Oh yes, I like that a lot. That's a great colour. I'm just going to, because you can paint with this as well, which is something to just remember, that you can paint with that as well, and it's going to dry. You can't really see it at the moment, but it will dry with a real shimmer to it. So that's really pretty, really, really pretty. And this is going to look so cool on our background once it's dry. So let me just wet that, and a bit of tissue here to clean that off. I have sparkled a lot of my surface here, which is fine. I do like that colour. Now it's really started, the shimmer's really starting to come through. I hope that you can kind of see that, because it makes for a really nice, lovely background. And I am tempted to use that for my sentiment, because that might look really, really pretty. I'm just trying to work out if it would stand out enough. It might do. It's really, really pretty effect. Rather than going for like I was thinking maybe a gold, but maybe the pink shimmer might be kind of cool. But we also have an aqua shimmer as well. The aquatini might be a nice contrast, but I don't want to take away too much from the characters that we're going to be colouring in. So it might be a case of, let's colour in our characters first, then decide what we want to do with the sentiment. So I'm just going to pop this to one side. And clean up our surface. My cute little bear. And yeah, I was considering whether I wanted to add any more shimmer. Some of that colour is fading back to silver, and I want to keep that the pink. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a blast with the heat gun. I don't want to warp my paper too much. Yeah, so they've gone. I guess the pink has receded a little bit to that paler pink that we saw on there. You see, but that still looks really, really, really pretty. So lovely. I'm going to pop this under my little bear just to flatten it a little bit. I love that background. It looks so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so let's go for, what should we do next then? while that's drying. Shall we stamp out our little images here? Let's do that. Let me get some of our stamping card. Need to restock all of my my little things here because I don't seem to have any of my stamping card pre-cut. So we do need to get some done, but I've got some here, so we'll use this and get my Stamp Perfect platform here as well. I do need to do a little bit of housekeeping around here. I've run out of everything, haven't I? I don't have the card blanks. I don't have the my pre-cut card stock. What a to-do. So let's get a couple of these guys. I'm gonna do them all. But we don't have to use them all. Sorry, I'm just checking that I can see everybody's comments. We're going to have the little hedgehog as well, aren't we? And then this little character here can be holding something. Now he could be holding just a little heart or something like that we've die cut. That was from what we did the other day, so I might leave that so that he's, because the sentiment is I love you lots, all of you lots. It seems to make sense that he would be holding a heart, rather than something that seems a little bit more autumn. So let's just move this down here so you can see what I'm doing. Julie says, also learnt from doing a class that the way you pick up ink with the blender brushes by rubbing is more effective than tapping as I was doing. So you can let Ant know that, as he was asking about the difference. I will let him know. He it was really good, you know, being able to work with Ant as a pure novice as well, because he asks a lot of questions, and they're really good questions, really relevant questions that sometimes I take for granted, because, you know, I do this every day. So you sometimes forget to just point out some of the basics because they're not basic. So I'm just stamping this twice. I do think I need to open up my new memento. I keep putting it off and putting it off. I do have a fresh one, but a couple of stamps and a bit of pressure using this little hockey puck thing or whatever. What is it? The air hockey. It looks like one of those air hockey pucks, doesn't it? But it works really well just to help me get a bit of pressure without having to worry that I'm not applying it evenly. So it's quite a clever idea. So I thought I would give it a whirl. So let's pop this guy back on here, and I'm thinking, should I do my sentiment at the same time? Do I want to do a sentiment on black, or on this cream? Oh, I do love that pink. Look, it is just so too pretty. So again, I might wait to decide, because I want to figure out what colour our little characters here are going to turn out. So I'm thinking of doing grey squirrels to go with our background. So this is kind of my colour swatch here, isn't it? And I think that's going to go really nicely. Let me zoom you in a bit so that you can see what I'm doing. See if that works. A bit more. How's about that? Okay. That's quite good, isn't it? Julie says, also think you need to get one of your little die machines, as felt would have been faster than using Gemini when I go and cut out 17 of the flowers from the butterfly set. Yeah, I saw all of your flowers that you cut out. That was a real beautiful rainbow of flowers that you made. But yeah, I bet that did take you a bit of time putting them through the Gemini. So yeah, a little machine definitely helps with that. So yes, please do look at the little ones on our website because they are quite very well priced, I would say, in comparison to other die machines of the same size. So let me think, what colour? I was going to do a grey colour because grey squirrels are super cute, and they will go with my colour scheme. But I also love this colour, so it's kind of a browny grey, and I think that that's going to look really nice. Let me just have a little ferret around for. Oh, that's a bit too pinky. Goes with Tattered Rose beautifully though. Might keep hold of that. I'm just thinking about a nice colour for their bellies. Let me refer to my colour chart. Maybe that would help. Yeah, I was thinking maybe an E40, but maybe an E00 is going to be better. Yeah, let's have a look at an E00. Yeah, that one's better. So let's have a think. Where shall I begin? So we're going to do a little bit of colouring now, which I do love that bit of colouring. So E70. Let's start with some E70 around the top of his face. And I'm just going to cover all of that surface. I didn't mean to cover all of his ear actually, because I was going to put a little bit of pink in his ear, but I might be able to add that afterwards. I'm leaving the bottom part of his face clear, and I'm going to create a little bit of a belly for this guy, and then I'm going to add colour to those little feet and his lovely bushy tail, but I'm going to leave the end of his tail a little bit paler, so I'm going to leave that like that. And then let's colour this guy in as well while we're at it. I'm going to leave his little chin white, and that will lead down to his belly. And then look at that big bushy tail. It's very cute, isn't it? And I'm only going to leave the very edges of that as white, because I think when you see grey squirrels, they do have white in there, don't they? But it's just at the very tips, so like the tips of their fur to me seems white. So the shading that I'm going to add here, and my mid-tone is pretty much the main colour of my character usually. So I'm going to add that across the middle, but leave his bum a bit paler, the back of his legs a bit paler, and then the base of his tail. I'm going to create some swooshes with my brush strokes, just to give the illusion of fur. So I don't really want to blend those out so much. But I am going to blend out the bit across his face because I don't want that to have a harsh line. So I'm just pushing that colour out and blending to the paler part, the highlight on his bum. And then for his tail, again, I'm just going to add more kind of strokes rather than actual fully blending that in, if that makes sense. I hope that you can see kind of what I was getting at there. So again, with his face here, I'm starting on the outside with that darker shade, and I'm going to do that on both sides of his face. I'm trying not to cover his eyes too much because I don't want them to disappear into the background. This bit behind his head is going to be darker. The bit behind his body here is also going to be darker because that's going to be in shade. So I do want quite a bit of colour behind his body there. And again, I'm just flicking with my brush strokes just to create a bit of a fluffy textured effect. Shading at the bottom of his paws and then around the sides and then at the bottom of his body, and again where his body overlaps his feet. And then blend out these edges, but again using those same flick motions to create the illusion of fur. Blend that out a little bit more thoroughly on his face because we want that to be a bit smoother on his paws, around his body there, tips of his toes. Cute. So, and then the final colour is the E74. Now this is a little bit darker. But this is what's going to really add the shading side of things. So this is not really adding colour, it's adding shadow. So I'm only going to add just a little bit where I think there will be a bit of shadow. So under his head, maybe at the side of his paws there, under this leg here, and then at the base of the tail, and then to add a few little extra flicks in the tail, we'll just give that a little bit more an illusion of fluffiness. And the same here around the back of the body, where we're going to have more shadow. So I'm just outlining that really, and then adding some flicks just to soften those edges so that we can blend those out. The same under his feet there, and the bottom of his body, under his paws, bottom of his head. Just a little bit more around those edges there, and the base of his ears. Very cute. And then a few little flicks of the darker is just going to give it a little bit of movement. That's very sweet. Excuse me while I just blow my nose. So then I'm going to go back in with the mid-tone colour, the E71, and just blend that darker colour out a tiny bit. sometimes I don't mind to see a little bit of a more definite shadow line, because you do get that in real life, but other times you just do want to soften that a little bit so that it looks a little bit more seamless. So just adding those flicks, and this is why my preference is the Copic markers, because of the brush nib. Because if you're doing this kind of effect, if you're struggling with the markers that you've got at the moment because they're a bullet nib, that is what the will give you more of a struggle, because the soft brush tip is what helps you get that flicking motion and helps create those softer blends. So do try a brush tip if you can afford to. I know it's difficult when you've already invested a lot in your pens to make that change, but there are some really quite affordable brands out there now that would work very, very well. I think the Ahuhus that I've tried have been very good. The ones that I've tried, I just didn't really like them. I don't mind the bullet tip ones in an emergency, but like I say, I prefer the brush tip. So I'm just adding the E00 all over those patches of white that we'd left, and that is a really, really nice colour. So we've got the E01, which is a little bit pinky, but I'm just going to use that right at the bottom and under the pores there, maybe a little line under the chin, and I think I'm just going to use that for the ears as well, maybe some pink for the cheeks, add a little bit of pink there to the ear, because we didn't remember to do that, did we? That's very sweet. And then we can blend this back out. These are super cute little characters, aren't they? Very cute. Okay. So I'm going to use that same E shade for the face of my little hedgehog here. And I think these colours of brown do work very well with that little guy. But I think I'm going to use, let me just grab, oh, here we go. Just grab my chart to look at. Because I think I'm going to do him in a slightly different shade. And then I'm just thinking, what colour will I do my little mousey here as well, so that everything kind of tones in together. So I think I'm going to go with the 23, 20, 23 and 25 for my hedgehog, because I don't want him to be too dark. I was toying with whether I did him in the same colours, but then everything would be the same colour, which I don't know if that would work. So what's your go-to colour for hedgehogs, would you say? I sometimes struggle with hedgehogs. I'm going to give him some little pink feet. I don't know if he'd have pink feet. bet he's having pink feet today. I think this works quite well as a colour scheme for him. So what did I say? E23, 25 should be next. E27, E25. There we go. So I'm just going to add some of this E27 in just like little patches behind those spikes, and again I'm going to use that flicking motion that I mentioned because that's going to help give us a little bit of illusion, I guess, of it being spiky, but in a soft spiky way. So that was the E27. I'm going to go back in with the E25 just to blend that out a little bit more. Yeah, I think that works quite well. The little guy. So for my little mousey here, there is the temptation, I think, to maybe go down the E40 route because that is quite a nice grey brownish. So let's start with, so I've got all of my E40 shades here. This is the E41, which is the pearl white, which is the whitest light, which is, well no it's not because I've got an E40, that would be the lightest, but this is a pretty light shade. So all of these colours are quite muted, fairly neutral, and I think that's going to go quite nicely with what we're trying to achieve. Just catch up on some comments. Julie says she's looking forward to hopefully crafting the weekend while the boys are at their dad's. Now you don't have to spend the time completing your portfolio. So that has freed up a bit of time for you, hasn't it? Which is good news. And more crafty time. Yay! Mid-tone is going to be the majority of the colour. So again, I'm just leaving a bit of highlight on his bum. Highlight on the top of his ears here. And then highlight again around the middle of the face. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a line over his nose there. And then where his little paws are in front of his face. And blend those out with the E41. Very nice. And then to add some dimension, I've got the E43. Kathy says, good evening everyone, great to see you doing another live. Yay, I'm so glad that you could join us, Kathy. Alice says, just posted what you've been doing while you've been watching. Posted on your page your time lapse. Then heard banging, cat in the bathroom scared you. Oh my goodness, they're so naughty, aren't they? They always make their presence known, that's for certain. Rosie has been in the office with me most of the morning. So yeah, I think she's out playing at the moment. So she's not going to be crashing the party just yet. But who knows? She does like to make a guest appearance now and again, doesn't she? So I'm just adding that shadow around the edges like we did before. So that was E42. So where's my E43? Sorry. So this is the E42, which is my mid shade. So I can blend those little shadows out a little bit into the center. I've just added a little bit at the bottom of his paws and where his little toes are. And then the E41. Just bring that all together. Lovely. So, I think this guy does need some pink cheeks. I'll just add in some little pink cheeks in there. He's having a lovely little sleep. So we can add all of these back into where they belong, so I don't get them all mixed up. And then we can cut these out. Let me pop that back up behind me there. I like to have that right behind me so that I can easily access it if I need it. So we do have the coordinating dies here. And I haven't organised these, you see. This is one of the many things that need organising. Because I do need to pop them on a magnetic sheet. So we've got our little mouse and our little hedgehog here. And we also have in the set all of the dies that put out your sentiments as well, which is really nice. So we might use them for that as well. So for the moment, I am going to, I think I will use my smaller die cutting machine here for these. Making sure that these guys are lined up really well. So this die here for this little squirrel at the top, it does cut out the paws so that he can hold something like we said. So that's really fun. And let's just get this little guy as well. Let me just trim this down. I don't think it's going to go through my little die cutting machine the size that it is. So I'm going to have to just slice it up a little bit. I'm trying to think, will it go through? I don't think it will go through, will it? I'll have to slice it again. Let's move that out of the way and get my little die cutting machine. So this was the machine that Julie was mentioning that she used during the class. Let me zoom out a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing a bit more now. Now we've done our colouring. And it's just really so much easier when you're dealing with smaller images like this. You don't have to put them through the Gemini, which, although it's a great machine and is electric, it doesn't, it takes a long time to go through because it's an A4 plate, whereas this is only the size of the images that you're using, so it's going to be much, much quicker. So let's pop that through there. And these look really, really cute now. Let's get them. Oops. Oh, I don't know why I've got a very ruddy nose. I should have to pause for a moment, I think. The little hedgehog. And that one a bit too well. So just be a bit careful getting your washi tape off there. So I'll show you his little paws in a second. And then there's the little mouse. So he's got little cuts there. I don't know if you can see that his little paws open up. So if I was to use this lovely teal heart that we die cut from from Tuesday's session, that actually looks really adorable. Can you guys see that? Bring that a bit closer. Cute. I like that, and I like the teal. So we may have found our accent colour. I don't know if that focused in very well there when I got close up. Let's have a little drink. So I think the thing to do now, excuse me while I just blow my nose, is to first of all grab some of this magnetic sheet because this is bothering me. And I'm going to add my dies onto here because that's where they need to be. So this is what I would normally do when I get my new sets, get my coordinating dies, get my stamps together. I will organise them onto a magnetic sheet, and then I will keep them together with obviously some little manoeuvre of them around so that we can get them all to fit on. Keep them with my stamps and dies and so on. So and so that they're not just like flopping around, because that just annoy me. So let's have a look. Is that going to fit onto there? Because this what I do is I cut down an A4 sheet to fit onto my insert here. So it might just need a little bit of finagling around to make that fit, but I think that's quite good. And I'm going to move it to this this edge here, because this is the straight edge. That is not a straight edge. So I know you'd probably. Do you want to see me organising my dies, or do you want me to just get on with it? I bet you just want me to get on with it, but it's just one of those things that I needed to do. I just needed to do it. I might turn him that way around. And that one that way around. Does that work better? Maybe. Yes, I think that works. Okay, and then what I can do then is just cut the bottom off here, and I've got another piece there that I can use for something else. Cut the edge straight as I possibly can there, but it doesn't matter to me if it's not fully straight. As long as I can fit all of my pieces on, that is all that matters. That goes on there. I found an extra die, that will go there, and then that's going to keep that lovely and organised. Fabulous. And I'll keep my stamps and my dies both together in this pocket. Easy peasy. Right, so now after we've done that, I think the thing to do now is to start putting this together so that we can see what colours that we want next. So this is our background that we made, and this is what we're going to pop on the front there, isn't it? So I would quite like to pop up the frame, I think. I was thinking, do I pop up the whole thing? Which might be quite interesting, but I think this will look nice flat against the background, although it does create a really nice shadow Now I've said that, just looking at it on screen, if you give it a little bit of height. So to do that, what you would do is stick this to your frame first and then add your dimension. So I'm not sure, do I stick that flat and then add dimension to my frame, or interesting. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it that way, because when I pop my critters on, they're going to have dimension. Right, decision made. So we got this. Just makes it a little bit more tricky, but not a lot. I'm just going to add some of my adhesive at certain points around my background here. It is going to be stuck on with that that frame, so we don't have to worry too much. It's not going to fall off, but I want to make sure that certain bits of it are stuck down. So the center of all of these flowers, stars, whatever you want to call them, is a good place to add a little dollop of your adhesive to keep those bits secure. And I've also done the edges here as well. So I think that will probably be enough. And then I'm just going to pop that centrally onto my background. She says, let's just maneuver it around a little bit while the glue is still wet, because I need it to be central so that my frame covers up those outside edges, which it does. Excellent. So just give that a bit of a press down. Any bits that are kind of sticking out over the edge, you can just trim off like so. And then we're going to pop this on some of our shake tape. So let's grab some of this. I've got a few bits, bit of a roll that's left. So let's use this, shall we? So I'm going to pop. This is the perfect width to go along your frame. So just carefully line that up and snip, and carefully line that one up. Oh, throw your scissors. Don't throw scissors, it's very dangerous. And don't run with scissors. So has anybody seen that we're now on TikTok? I haven't really mentioned it, but because we've not really done anything much on there yet, I don't think I fully understand TikTok yet. I certainly don't really watch TikTok too much myself, but I know that there is a growing crafty family on there. So I thought, oh well, let's get involved. So we Time for Tea is now on TikTok. If you fancy following us, that would be lovely. And if you share any of your Time for Tea projects on there, then please tag us. That would also be lovely. So let's get this stuck down. This is the bit that always worries me, is that I'm not going to stick this down in the right place. And Lisa says, what? TikTok? Yes, TikTok. It is very scary to me because I feel very old. It's something that the young people do, as my mum would say. And my niece you know, loves it. So, you know, I was hoping to get down with the kids a little bit. Right, so that's our frame on there now, which is awesome. Loving that background. So then we've now got the situation of, we've got our little characters here, which are very cute. So now I need to think about, right, what colour do I actually want to do our sentiment? So what did I do with my sentiment? That's the question. Here she is. Oops. So the love you lots. Do we go with pink colour, or do we go with something that's going to stand out a little bit more? Maybe some of that speckled egg, perhaps. Oh, I'm torn now. Now, where did I have my previously die cut ones? Where did I put them? There they are. These might help us decide. Because if we go for like a bluey teal colour, this is what it's going to look like. I do think that that's going to stand out really, really well, isn't it? With our little guy here. I mean, I could almost use that. I think it might be a little bit too blue at the top, but I'm thinking maybe the speckled egg and the peacock feathers would make a really nice background there. That's very cute, isn't it? Or is he going to go down there, maybe? Or do we need to move him down a bit so that this guy can jump? So now I'm just thinking about placement. I did like him there, I think, on top of the love. What are you guys thinking about the blue and teal as it is? Do you think that works? Do you think we should just run with it? It's very cute, isn't it? It does seem to work. I quite like the little critter there, just poking out. It's very cute. Him down there, I think. And I think that this guy poking out of the U, that's cute. I like that. That's quite cute, isn't it? So what do we think? Do we think it works, the blue? I do think it works, doesn't it? I'm quite liking that. Okay, I think we might go with that. And what I might do is I might cut it out of some foam, just to give it a bit of dimension, rather than adding lots of kind of dots all over it. I think it just helps to add a little bit of I think it just helps it pop a little bit, doesn't it, because of the muted colours that we've got in the background so far. So I think he's a little bit too big, but I do feel like something is missing over here. What could it be? What could we have? Just trying to think of any other bits that we've got here that we could add to it. That's super cute. I do think that's very adorable, isn't it? Julie says she's off to bed now. She's got to get Harry to sleep as always. He's a nightmare. Bless him. And we'll catch up tomorrow at the weekend when crafting. Fabulous. Thank you so much for joining us, Julie. Thank you for watching. And I hope Harry is well behaved and gets to bed. I'm thinking that maybe we could maybe go with some of these mushrooms. which would be quite cute. Or what else could we do? Because I feel like there's something a little bit missing. What is missing? What could we say? What could we add? Or am I overthinking it? As always, I do like the oh what fun. Putting this back. Actually, the oh what fun is very cute, isn't it? What is cute? Oh, what fun. That could just go there. But, you know. Any suggestions? Found my lovely critters that you'd coloured at Christmas, says Alice. Cannot wait to see my hedgehogs. Hopefully they survive. Oh, bless. Hope they did. Kathy says, that's good to hear. My grandson introduced me to TikTok a few weeks ago. Told me there's lots of crafty videos on it. There are. I found a few, people on there that I already follow on Instagram and so on. So, yeah, I think it's definitely worth having a little look. I feel like this little guy is the wrong colour now. I don't know whether I'm just being a little bit picky and a bit weird about it, because this guy I think is gonna go better, but he is he's gonna overhang a little bit, but does that matter? What do we think? Do we think he looks a bit better on there? I don't think it matters if he overhangs, does it? What do we think? Kathy says the first thing she did was search for time for tea. Well, we're on there now, so you'll be able to find us. That's awesome. I'm going to pop him there. Okay. I'm going to cut this out of some foam while I decide what I want to do. So I'm not sure now about my arrangement. I feel like it's missing something. And maybe it's the blue that's putting me off. I don't know. I just don't know. I think the pink and the pink might be too pink. But I think that maybe where's my metallic papers at? That maybe that's a little bit too blue. I mean, you know, I can add another heart. That's no problem. We've got plenty of hearts. So, bear with. Let's have a think. Where have I got some more? I've got some nice metallic cardstock somewhere. I've also got some foam. Let's have a look at my foam situation. See if I've got enough here to cut out this sentiment. Some scraps of fun foam. Don't know why, but it keeps trying to type things for me here. Is that going to be big enough? Let's have a look. Yes. Smashing. Pop this through. Pop this through the Gemini. Oops. See, I wonder if I could do a bit of. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I've nailed it. She says. rather excellent idea, I think. I could be wrong. But there's only one way to find out, isn't there? So let's sort of pure experimenting here. So this is the Love You Lots, and I need some cardstock that isn't necessarily ooh, tell me that fits. I think it does, doesn't it? I love it when a little scrap comes together. Let's pop this through the machine as well, and then I will fill you in on what my thoughts are. But it may not work. We've got to try these things. So what I have in my possession here are some pretty pink embossing powders, and this could be quite a scary. I nearly threw my sentiment away then instead of the waste. So this could be a bit scary because I'm not always very good at doing this bit, but I love to see people doing this. So I could either go with gold, or we could go with a mixture of gold, which would be a bit special, wouldn't it? Bit of gold, bit of cardinal red. Let me get my little stenciling platform back out so that we can create a bit of, and I can also use that to cut out a few little, maybe a little heart. So I'm not quite sure which colour of these, what it actually comes out like. This is Primary Pink Robin, which I'm thinking is going to be quite a pinky pink. And then this is Primary Cardinal Red, which again seems quite a vibrant pink. Let me just have another look, see if I've got any. We've got some gold, some sparkle glitter, black, very licious. Very licious look like. A bit too purple. What's this one? Hot Gossip. Ooh. And then that's glitter rather than embossing. So let's look at this. This is Hot Gossip. This might be a bit too pinky. Yeah, I think that's a bit too pink. So I'm going to go with this. I don't know how that's going to work, but let's try it. I'm going to get some of my scratch paper here. Now, the thing to do here, I think, is to, feel like that was a cat that was trying to come in, is to press this into my pad here. Hello, cat. Yes, Rosie has joined us. And let's have a look. See if we've got that pretty much covered. I'm getting a bit inky. Just making sure that we've got all of the bits covered. Like I say, this is not something I do very often, so I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I do love the effect of this when I see other people do it. So we'll see what this looks like. If you've not got the colour, oh, Rosie. Sorry, Rosie's just destroying the joint. Do you want to go on there? You can go on there. I'd put something on her chair. Her chair. It's my chair. Rosie, no. Okay. No, 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 no. Come here. Sorry, baby. Oh, oh dear. That was the Diet Cup went flying as well. With the cat. It's got fluff all over it as well now. Come on, out you go. Out you go. Out we go. Oh no. Oh, oh, and I've just knocked the light with my head. So, she's now, yeah. She's potentially destroyed my ink blend here, but let's see if we can salvage this. So I'm using my tweezers now. The bit that is you know, I'm not sure of is how I get it all over everywhere. She's lovely too, helping. Honest mom, yeah, she's not helping, is she? Little paws that gets where they're not supposed to be. Right, let's have a sprinkle. This might be very pink, but might also work very well. What do you think? Pink? Pink? Maybe? I was thinking of maybe adding a bit of gold to it as well, maybe mixing those colours together. So let's give this a whirl. I'm just gonna, this is pure experimentation time now. But if we can't experiment on a live, when can we experiment? Bit of gold. See what the result is. And we can always pop a bit more pink on there if we do it a second time. Oh, I've got a bit of pink in my gold now. Oh dear. Oh dear, never mind. A bit more pink where I'm not quite covered everywhere. Right then. This is a major experiment. But hey ho. In for a penny, in for a pound, as they say. See what happens, shall we? I've got it all over my stencil mat. Now my stencil mat is great because it withstands heat, a lot of heat, so we can do this, but it doesn't like the powder on it, because that makes it just really hard to get off, basically. So, setting all of that in place, I do think that looks really quite cool. It's a mixture of gold and pink. What do we think? I don't think I've quite got that bit just there. Let me try that bit again. obviously I did miss this little bit just here. So I'm just going to add a bit of ink on there. And then we'll just hold this somewhere else. And I do have a little bit here of this. Can we get that little bit? Just flick that on there. And just to fill that gap. Oops. Let's see if that works. Yeah, perfect. So, I mean, I think that's created a really lovely effect. Whether it goes with our background remains to be seen, but I am quite pleased with that. Did I get all of that? Yeah, I think we did. So this is how it's going to look. I do like that. I do think that's quite cool. Oh, it's a wonder she's not turned this live off, you know, because she just stomps over everything with her paws. And we'll get rid of that scratch paper now because it's been very well used. Let's pop that in there and let's give this a bit of a wipe, see if we can get some of that powder off. But yeah, it doesn't cope well with the powders on it, so I may have to rinse that under a tap just to get them off, probably, because with it being silicone, everything kind of sticks to it, which is good when you want it to, but not so much when you don't. Okay, so, well, that was cool. I enjoyed that, and I like this effect now. I think this is pretty cool. So then I can add this to my foam, and it'll pop up nicely, which is very cool. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. I'm just thinking, do I want to offset it? But no. So let's add this to the back of here. So I'm buzzing about that mainly because when I've tried doing techniques like that, they haven't been quite so successful. So the fact that did work, I'm very happy with. So, sorry if that wasn't in shot there. Adding some of my liquid glue now to the back of this, which means that this is going to be quite easy to add to our foam. Excuse me. Sniffling. And that's just a really unique way of making a different colour sentiment. So I think I'm definitely going to be trying that again. So that was fun. That was fun and really quite easy to do. So like I said, I did want my little hedgehog to pop through there. So what I might do with him is I might stick his bum under there before I stick the sentiment down. There we go. And then add glue to the back of my foam. And this is my Cosmic Shimmer glue. Is anybody else crafting tonight? So Jess and Claire, you're normally crafting along. What projects are you up to? Let's pop that on there. Oh, excuse me, itchy nose. So now we've got our little a little mouse, I think possibly does work a little bit better now. Up top there, we've got our little hedgehog peeking out. Yeah, or do we have this guy leaping? I might do the leaping guy. Or this guy. Oh, which one? I'm so indecisive. It's quite ridiculous, really, isn't it? What's your thoughts? Alice says she thought TikTok was a short vids. Oh, I'll check it out. Well, it is short vids, actually. That's the thing of it. It is short vids. And that's kind of, I suppose, the appeal of it for youngsters out there. I need a little heart here, don't I, for this guy? So what did I use to cut out my heart last time? Do you think he looks good in front of the O, or does he detract from the O? Like, would you know what we were saying if he was holding a heart? I think you'd know what we were saying, would you? Maybe. Yeah, I think you would know. So I'm going to. Jess says we're crafting along an old Downton Abbey kit. Oh, Downton Abbey. What are you making with that then? That sounds intriguing. So which one did I go with? Was it the Cardinal Red? It was Cardinal Red, wasn't it? I'm just going to use this as my little piece here, little scrap piece. And then add a bit of gold on there as well. It's already got a bit of pink in it. And let's dry this off and then see what we. Oh, no wonder that didn't fit. It was the wrong lid. Okay. Let's give this a quick dry. Love watching that colour turn. Love it. So what I used for my heart, which is the perfect size heart, was in the Mum and Dad die set, coordinating die set. So this is the Mum and Dad sentiment stamps, but it's got this little love heart, little speech bubble, which I think is really, really cute. And actually, it might be worth utilising this anyway on our background. So I'm going to cut it, I think, more out of the pink side. So this is another good way of using like little bits of scrap, I suppose. Don't know why that didn't want to stay stuck, but it didn't. And I don't know if it's a good idea to heat emboss first and then die cut, or heat emboss after. So again, another experiment. Have I frozen again? Do I keep freezing? Feels like it's been a bit better this time. Jackie says, I'm busy making a box cushion for a chair and reupholstering while I watch you. Oh, that sounds very, very in depth. I like it. And Jess says it's a card kit of cool quotes, images, and accessories. Very nice. I do. We were talking about this the other day, myself and Ant, about. He's started. He's obviously into his fitness and has been for many years, and has done it himself. Made his own programs and stuff to follow, which he's very good at. And he. But he's now he's got a personal trainer now who is putting programs and things together for him, which he says he's finding really quite liberating because he's not having to do it himself, which he's always done before. And it means he can just relax and enjoy the process, which I think is a little bit what we do when we take a class with crafting, is that it's just really nice to be able to let somebody else do the thinking, I suppose, and we can just follow along and enjoy the process. So yeah, I totally understood where he was coming from with that I think it would be really nice to to do that, to just have a kit that you could just work with, and you don't have to. There's still creativity involved, but you can really just follow along, which is cool. So I quite like this little love heart here as well. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the centre in the gold so that it can have a gold centre to it, and we'll add that as a little accessory as well. So my thing doesn't want to stick. So this is really different kind of card for me, I would say, and I'm really loving it, how it's turning out. It'd be lovely for Valentine's Day, wouldn't it? The colours that we've gone for in the end. Oh, there it is. So, let's have a look what we got here. Come on. There we go. So we've got nice gold centre, which is pretty cool, and then we've got a gold, part of a gold heart there. I think though, now I'm looking at it, I don't really like the gold centre, but what I think I would like is this. Let me see, is that little scrap? Love little scraps like this. So I've literally taken the tiniest bit of this cardstock, but this is literally using your scraps, and we're going to cut this bit, and then I think we can say that we've pretty much nailed this. Lauren says, looking great, I'm going to head off, night all. Yes, it's a late one again, I'm sorry. These are, for some reason I have in my head that these are going to be quick and simple, and they're really not, are they? But stuff happens. We get creative, and I don't know when to stop. That's my problem. Ant will be going mad because he's got to go to bed. He's got work in the morning, so he'll be wanting to go to bed, bless him. But I think the centre of that is going to look better in white. Definitely into that. So what we did last time when we did this was we pop it upside down, pop the bit in the centre that we want, and then either use tape, but I'm going to use some of my foam tape because I want to give it a bit of dimension. I'm going to just make it a little bit longer, I think, and then you're going to place that over the back. Hopefully that's going to line up. There we go. So that is kind of holding it in place as well as offering some support. Excellent. So let's remove tape on the back there. And that's our little embellishment there. And then these are going to be a combination of liquid glue and foam tape, I think, aren't they? So that guy's sitting over the O with his little heart, and then this guy is going to be leaping across the bottom. He's going to need a bit of foam tape along there, I think, just to keep him propped up a little, maybe on his little paws as well. Let's have a look, see how that's looking. So I think I want him kind of hugging the sentiment, and then that will go along the middle. So I think we've possibly nailed that. Fingers crossed, eh? And a bit of glue on the other bits. Let's grab this. Yeah, I think that looks really cute. I like that. Oh, I've frozen again. Why have I frozen? Alice says she's got a Simon Says stamp order through and I'm so excited. Have to go to bed though. Oh, bless you. Oh, what did you order from Simon Says stamp though? I'd love to know. I don't tend to order from them. Obviously we ship to them. So if you're in America and you're looking for time for tea, then you know, we do ship to Simon Says Stamp. In fact, I've just shipped an order to them today. Funnily enough. So I've just got this little heart here that is just asking to be utilised. But I don't know if it's really required. I just like it. Oh, got a bit of a funny fuzziness. Very cute, very cute. I don't know whether I want him to be holding it just there. I don't know whether it might need some more embellishments if I do that. And have to start creating more of them, maybe. So I think we'll just leave it at that for now. So last little bits, as always, bit of white Jelly Roll pen. Alice says she'll pop it on the Time for Tea page, and I said I am an attendee of your lives. Oh, bless you, that's so cool. Kathy says we'll be popping off now to Early Start Tomorrow. Fabulous card and great technique. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching for as long as you have done, because I know it has been a long one, this one. So I do appreciate you joining me. It does mean such a lot. So I'm just going to add a few little highlights, because I think the highlights do just make it for me. And I like to add just a few spike highlights to my hedgehog. Freckles, I don't know why freckles, but freckles make me happy. And like I say, a few highlights to the tail and the legs. Very, very cute. And then finally is going to be a glaze pen. I'm just going to take off some of the film that sometimes seals that and add that to the noses of our little critters. That has turned out pretty cute, I think. Let me give you a closer look. Oh, up a bit, down a bit. So look at the shimmer on that sentiment as well, and then that pretty background with the new ink. Yeah, I think that's looking really cool. Yay! So you know, love you cards are not just for Valentine's Day. They're for every occasion. I'm sure there's somebody who you must want to send that to. I can think of someone I can send this to. So that's our card for today. I hope you really enjoyed it. I'm sorry it was such a long one, but I hope that there were some fun techniques in there. I'm also sorry that I've frozen a little bit. There we go. Alice says the pic is on there. Must go. I've been up very late every night. Well, have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you so much for spending this crafty time with me. I hope you enjoyed our project today. And we'll be back again next Tuesday for some more crafting live at 12 midday. So if I don't see you before, I shall see you then. Thanks.